Plenty of fish in the sea. We all know the saying. True it is. But who owns the fish? Countries do. The fish in their waters is theirs. Governments of those countries divide the fish through a quota. Whoever holds a quota is a rich man. There is a lot of money in fish, if you own a quota. Have you ever wondered who sets the market price for fish? An auction, you would say. We all know the romantic image of fishermen selling their catch at auction to the highest bidder. Always a fair price, making fair money to feed their families and pay their taxes. Those days are gone. They are no more. Most of the fish is sold before any auction. Contracts set the price before the fish even lands. No auction, no market price, but much less. The main victims, the taxpayer and the trawler crews. The paycheck of a trawler crew depends for a good part on their share of the profit made on selling the catch. Selling the catch below the market price means a lower profit share, less money for the crew. Making less money on fish sold means trawler companies pay less taxes. It's the taxpayer having to cough up the rest. This game is dominated by a few key players that have taken the world of pelagic fish market hostage. They run their multi-billion euro companies, filling their pockets at our expense. Who benefits? The UBO, the ultimate beneficiary owner, the owner of the quota, the one who holds the quota. Mostly big fishing companies. In some countries it's easy to see who benefits from the quota. In others, it's a well-kept secret. You will never know who makes the big money on the fish that we all own. Being the size they are, they have control over governments, tax bodies, and even NGOs. Many turning a blind eye, or even playing along, facilitating and profiting on the side. Basically, the industry is one big cartel. One example. One of the biggest players in the world is the Mogster family from Norway, two brothers. Billionaires owning Ostefal, Leroy and a number of other companies. They buy on average 2 million tons of pelagic fish a year. Only 800,000 tons is for human consumption. The rest is processed to fish meal, 1,200,000 tons. They buy their fish at the Norges Sildes Algslag, the Norwegian auction. Because they are the biggest buyer, they set the price. For mackerel they pay top money, always. Most of the other fish is made super cheap, if not worthless. Why? In return for top prices on mackerel, they get most of the other fish at a bottom rate. For example, blue whiting. Great for fish meal. The family is one of the biggest salmon producers in the world. Cheap fish meal makes cheap salmon sold at top prices. That's how they make their real money. Mogster, the Norwegians, keeps the mackerel price high. Great, you would think, but what if your quota is small on mackerel, but big on blue whiting or herring? Then you suffer from a low price for your fish, making it impossible to make a living. The Norwegians make a little deal with some of the other big players. I'll keep the mackerel prices high, you sell me your other fish nice and cheap. Cheap fish meal. Remember? The other players are freezer trawler companies, processing their fish to whole round frozen fish aboard their ships. They don't have to buy fish, they take it from the sea. So no purchase price and no factory costs. A super low cost price for them, low cost price, big profit. Thanks to the high prices the Norwegians set at auction. The other players share a percentage of their profit with the Norwegians, as a thank you. The big boys now all benefit. Not in the books though. Let's put some numbers through this. In 2017, the Norwegians buy their mackerel at auction in Norway for €1.02 per kilogram. They process this to whole round frozen fish in container and ship it to Rotterdam, costing 48 euro cents per kilo. There you have it. €1.50 per kilo, whole round frozen in a container, ready to ship. Cost price per kilo from Rotterdam. The other big players have freezer trawlers, massive floating factories. Also in 2017, they have their whole round frozen fish ready to ship in a container from Rotterdam for less than 50 cents. So that's a third of the cost. For the exact same fish, the exact same product, a block of frozen fish. Both ship their blocks of frozen fish to, let's say, Nigeria. Sold to local distributors, the mamas, at €2.20 per kilogram. 35% profit for the Norwegians. Almost 400% profit for the others. Not my problem, you could think. Good for them. Big profits mean big taxes. Wrong. A massive amount of black money is generated, invested in many different industries, hiding their profits in Nigerian oil, offshore accounts, laundered through Russia, through Deutsche Bank, Estonia, or even the ING Bank, which was recently fined €750 million for laundering money. Whose black money was it, you think? A well-kept secret. Screwing people and companies that do pay their taxes. Another group screwed is the trawler crews, through their wages. It's a common deal that trawler crews get 27% of the profit once the fish is sold. But sold? At what price? The crew gets part guaranteed wages and part profit share, if the share is higher than the guaranteed wage, but it's a con. The union has agreed a ridiculously low wage of less than €4 per hour, reasoning the crew is also paid a share of the profit on the fish. It's a rotten deal, because the less fish is sold for, the lower the workers' share. Most of the time, the trawler crew goes home with little more than €4 per hour on board. Besides catch being sold at set low prices, there's quota swapping. Say the owner has a quota of 5,000 tons of mackerel, which he swaps for a quota of 6,000 tons of plaice. The profit on one quota is less than the profit on the other. The crew has no say, but their income depends on it. A rip-off. Governments and unions are well aware, allowing and cooperating for crews to be screwed. There's people that are trying to introduce the same system to other countries, so they can play the same game of crew underpayment, price fixing, and tax evasion. One man that is trying hard is Torstein Baldvinsson, an ex-banker, who screwed the Icelandic people in the banking crisis years ago and is now behind one of the largest Icelandic fishing companies, Samari. He should be stopped before it's too late. We now have pointed out two key issues that lead to the fishing industry being sick. The actual market price for fish appears to be manipulated for the benefit of the big fishing companies. Price fixing, cartels, foul play, and plain fraud at the expense of the taxpayers and trawler crews. The lack of transparency of a fishing quota. What sets the price? Who gets the big bucks? It can be fixed though. It can be better for all of us. Show us who actually owns the quota. Put a stop to quota swaps that stimulate price fixing. Make this part of the labour deals of trawler crews so they finally get their fair share and have real guarantees. 27% of an actual market price. Bring back the auction so that a quota has real and actual market value. There's thousands of buyers out there, not just the 10 that now dominate 80% of the market. All fish caught under a quota should be auctioned worldwide. Whole round frozen product sold to the highest bidder in the world for a price ex-pier in container. The auction should be government and union verified for the benefit of the taxpayer and trawler crews, for a fair market with fair prices. Trawler crews get their fair wages, governments will receive billions more in taxes, lowering the tax burden of its citizens. It's only fair. Let's be proud again.